Remember the excitement when streaming devices first hit the market? Every manufacturer seemed to be racing to pack in as many features as possible. Dolby Vision support, gaming, expandable storage, massive app libraries. It felt like there was always a new set of things to look forward to, a checklist of must-haves. But now it seems like the focus has shifted. Instead of introducing groundbreaking features, companies are now refining areas that need the most improvement. And that's exactly where Xiaomi's new TV boxes comes in, perfectly fitting into this trend. Labeled as third generation, it doesn't promise revolutionary upgrades, but it does bring some smart improvements to the table, including a better CPU and GPU combo and more internal storage. And honestly, I think it kind of worked. In today's video, I'll see what this streaming device has to offer, what's changed, what works, and whether this is the upgrade your TV setup deserves. But first, let's jump into the unboxing. Alright, so inside the box, things are pretty straightforward. You get the Xiaomi TV Box S itself, which is now pebble shaped with a slim front that curves up toward a thicker back. More on that just in a sec. Alongside it, there's the Bluetooth remote, essentially the same as before, with dedicated buttons for Google Assistant, YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, and all apps. You also get a power adapter, HDMI cable, and the usual quick start guide and warranty info. No batteries included though, so make sure you have got a pair of AAA batteries on hand to get started. Taking a closer look at the design, the device definitely feels more refined than before. Instead of the flat, squared-off box from the previous model, this one has a sleek, pebble-like shape with a gentle curve. It's subtle, but it gives the device a more modern and premium vibe. The matte black finish helps it stay low-key and blended with most setups, whether it's sitting next to your TV or tucked behind it. On the back, you've got all your ports neatly lined up, a power input, HDMI 2.1 port, and a USB-A port. But there's no LAN port though, so Wi-Fi is your only built-in connection. There's also no 3.5mm audio jack this time, which might be a letdown for folks using older audio setups. But more disappointing is the fact that we are still stuck with USB 2 in 2025. No USB 3 or 3.1 nor any USB-C port. That may limit fast external storage or high-speed accessory use. Also worth mentioning, there are no ventilation cutouts anywhere, so heat management relies entirely on passive dissipation through the case. The device is powered by a quad-core Cortex A55 CPU, paired with an ARM Mali-G310 V2 GPU. Xiaomi says the new CPU is about 25% faster than the one in 2nd gen model, and the GPU got an even bigger upgrade, 130% faster than before. You still get 2GB of RAM, which is kinda okay. It's usable for general streaming, but honestly, 3GB or more would have made multitasking and system responsiveness feel a lot better. The good news is that the internal storage has been bumped up to 32GB, a huge leap from the previous 8GB on Gen 2 model. That means more room for apps, offline content, and updates. On the connectivity front, you now get Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2. When it comes to video support, it handles up to 4K at 60 FPS with HDR10+, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio pass-through, so the core visual and audio experience is still solid. Gaming-wise, this device isn't a powerhouse. Casual games and cloud gaming services might be fine, but anything graphically heavy, don't expect miracles. Moving on to the software, the device runs on Android TV 14 with Google TV interface on top. That means you get a more content-focused experience with personalized recommendations front and center, pulling from YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, and more. The UI is clean and relatively easy to navigate. If you've used Google TV before, it will feel very familiar. You can still access the classic apps-only mode if you prefer a simpler, more traditional layout, which is nice if you don't want all the recommendations and ads. And since it's Android TV 14 underneath, you get access to the full Play Store for TV apps along with support for Google Assistant, Chromecast built-in, and voice search via the remote. There's also support for multiple user profiles, watch list, and smart home integrations with Google Home. Now let's talk about performance, and to be honest, it's kind of a mixed bag. For everyday streaming, it gets the job done. Navigating the UI and launching apps, it all works just fine. But it's definitely not blazing fast. And if you've used something like the Apple TV 4K, the difference is pretty noticeable. Apple's box just feels miles ahead in responsiveness and fluidity. On the Xiaomi TV Box S, I've occasionally noticed UI stutters and even freezes while watching YouTube, especially during longer sessions. Playback for most content is smooth, but there were moments, particularly with 4K YouTube videos, where I experienced choppy playback. App switching is decent, and once a video starts playing, it usually stays smooth, but multitasking or quickly jumping between apps can expose the device limits. Thankfully, there was a software update, and since then things have gotten a bit smoother. If you're using external storage for media playback, keep in mind it's still just USB 2.0. That means for high bitrate 4K files, especially large ones, you may run into buffering or slow load times. And I think a USB 3 port would have been a much better choice here. As I mentioned, there's no Ethernet port, but the Wi-Fi on this device is quite capable of delivering fast internet speeds. Overall, performance is okay for casual use, just don't expect flagship level speed. Here are the pros and cons of the Xiaomi TV Box S, starting with the good stuff. So the device is pretty compact with modern pebble-shaped design, something I really fancy here. The Google TV offers clean UI and a ton of apps to download. The device also supports all HDR formats like Dolby Vision and HDR10+, and Dolby Atmos pass-through means you can connect external audio unit, like a soundbar for instance. And lastly, the 32GB internal storage is a welcome upgrade compared to the last version. Now speaking of the few downsides, the 2GB of RAM is a major limiting factor here in terms of performance. Which brings me to my second caveat, the occasional UI stutters and freezes that I experienced. The lack of faster USB-A or USB-C port is another major drawback and may limit the use when it comes to high bitrate files. So here's the bottom line. The Xiaomi TV Box S 3rd Gen offers a nice little package on paper, but in real world use, the performance is just okay. The 2GB RAM shows its age, the UI can lag at times, and the USB 2.0 port feels like a missed opportunity, especially if you care about streaming 4K content from an external storage. And while it's better than the last generation, it's definitely not a huge leap forward. So should you buy it? Well, if you're on a budget and want a simple streaming box that can handle the basics, then yeah, it's not a bad option. At around $70, it offers decent value for your money. But if you're used to something faster, like the Apple TV 4K or even the Nvidia Shield, this will feel like a step down. Overall, this isn't the ultimate streaming box, it's just a better version of what Xiaomi was already doing. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you're into honest, no fluff tech reviews like this one, consider subscribing for more upcoming videos. I would love to hear your feedback on this, so drop a comment below. Thanks for watching and I will catch you in the next one.